This is an Uppababy Vista V2, and today we're going to go over all the basic functions of using the stroller, both with the seat as well as the bassinet, other than folding or removing the textiles, as we have separate guide videos for that. So, starting at the top, you have your handle, and in the center of the handle is a large button, and this is for adjusting the various heights of the handle. There's a peg inside that will pop down into different holes, so it has pre-arranged height positions. Yeah? And we'll just click right into those different positions. Below that is the folding triggers. I'll show you how to activate them anyway, just like this, in order to fold up and down the stroller. And then we'll move on to the seat. So in order to remove the seat, in order to reverse it, for example, you have two buttons here on either side of the seat frame. You need to press them both in simultaneously, and that will allow you to lift up the seat. You can then turn it around and pop it back into place, right on the struts here, on the insides of the chassis. Having a look at the seat then, you have a bumper bar here. There are two buttons underneath the bumper bar. This allows you to open up the bumper bar from either side or completely remove the bumper bar should you choose. And it is rotatable, so that makes it a little bit easier to take your child in and out of the stroller. Okay, looking at the harness then, in order to open up the harness, you're going to want to press this button in the center, and that will release out these side buckles. You can just pop them back into place, like that. And then in order to give yourself longer straps as your child grows, for the central buckle, you have this piece here, just like on a backpack. You can just pull this up in order to give yourself more strap, or down in order to make it tighter. There's no separate adjustment mechanism for the side straps because they are just part of the shoulder straps. And in order to make those shoulder straps longer then, you're going to open up, again, just that basic backpack style clip right there. In order to raise up the shoulder straps as your child grows, so they can more comfortably go over your child's shoulder, you're just going to grab a hold of this other little plastic adapter here, and you can slide it up along this extra strap track, like that. All right, down here at the bottom, you have the leg rest. Press in these two buttons on the side, and this is going to allow you a few different sorts of positions to adjust the comfort of your child, and that's also going to be relevant when you're folding, for making the stroller fold down smaller. When it comes to adjusting the position of the seat, or recline, so you have this button here on the back, this lever, you can press in on it, and that will allow you to find various degrees of recline. All right then, when it comes to the canopy, there are a few different functional possibilities here. So first off, there's a zipper that runs along the whole back end of the canopy. And if you unzip this, it releases an extra section so that you can fold that down lower for better sun coverage. It also opens up a ventilation window in here in the back, or a peekaboo window, I suppose. There's a second ventilation window here, so you can just fold over these textiles in case it's the middle of summer, and now you have double ventilation. In addition, you can actually slide this canopy up and down. I find this particularly useful when you have younger children. So you want that canopy to be lower down so that it's more enclosing when your child is sleeping, for example, yeah? Right now it's in the lowest position, but in order to raise it up, you're just going to grab hold underneath these two hinged adapter pieces for the canopy, and you can just slide it upwards, up along the seat frame. All right, moving down then to the lower rear frame, you have your brake system here. It's a ballpoint brake. That means that you press it down to turn it off, down again to turn it on, and there's a little indicator window here. It's going to be red when it's locked and green when it's go, right? In order to remove the rear wheels, there's a button here in the center of the wheel. Just press it in, pull it out. That's going to release a locking mechanism that is located right here inside the axle itself. To put it back in place, just line it up, pressing that button, and it'll slide right back into place. Moving around to the front, you have a swivel lock here. That's to keep your wheels in line, like if you're going over rough terrain, for example, most common use for that. In order to activate the swivel locks, you're going to press in on this button on the top. It's also a ballpoint system like the brakes, and it also has an indicator window. Green means that these wheels swivel. Pressing it there, the green disappears. And now when that wheel rolls around to the backside, it's going to lock in that inline position. And again, to release it. In order to remove the front wheels, this gray strip that you see here is like a dial, and there's a little place on the back to hold, a little peg. So hold on to that peg and slide it outwards away from the stroller, and that allows you to release those front wheels. All right, moving on to the bassinet then. The release mechanism for pulling the bassinet off of the chassis is right here at the top, and it's a slider. So it's like a button that you're going to push to the side and then press in. Yeah? Side and in. And that will open up these locking mechanisms here. When you're putting it back in place, you don't have to mess with that button at all. I'm just going to line it up, and it will snap right back into place. In order to fold back this canopy, they have memory buttons here on the side, so you can press one and then the other. You don't have to do them simultaneously, and that will allow you to push back that canopy. There's a sun flap here. It's like what they had before. They had that zippable portion on the seat as well, but they kind of kept it on the bassinet. So you can just pull out the sun flap, and you get nice coverage for the bassinet. And then when it comes to ventilation, you have two elements of ventilation on this bassinet. So the first is right here on the back side of the canopy. The zipper, you unzip, and then you can fold up a textile. You get a really nice, large, ventilated area. The other is underneath. There's this flap. So you can pull this flap off, and it has Velcro, so you can just Velcro it there. And that's going to allow ventilation in here, and the baseboard has holes, so it's going to allow ventilation from underneath for your baby as well. Lastly, just in case any of you are interested, this bassinet actually also is capable of attaching in the forward position as well. But in any case, we hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, we ask that you subscribe, as it helps us to continue making videos in the future. Thank you.